Greetings and welcome to Monster Legends for another special feeding episode. This time I'm going to be feeding an orc whose pieces I have had for quite some time. I have been advised by my viewers that I really should feed him up, so that is exactly what I'm going to do. This is Warspellz, and he showed up with lots of open ruin slots, which was very nice of him indeed. Alright, so he is in the Underworld book, he's in the Evil Legions book, he's in the Villains book, but he's also into family, so he's not all bad, right? Everybody's got their soft side. Anyway, he's a legendary, he's darkness, and we're going to throw him here. You know, I actually think he'll get along with the leprechaun. I really do. He kind of looks like the leprechaun, doesn't he? It's like they were brothers separated at birth. Okay. Alright, so where is our little friend here? This is Mania! We'll find something better for him. Alright, so this is Warspellz. He is a legendary. He is darkness. He has the little orc thing here where he has a 25% chance to resist negative status effects. Alright, let's look at his stats. His strength is not so great. His life is surprisingly good considering, I mean, he doesn't look very beefy, you know, especially when he grows up. He looks kind of thin and wiry. That just seems to be the way they're doing things these days. His speed is actually very good, shockingly so. I honestly don't really know what he does. I've heard that he can help, so I don't know if he's like supporty or something like that, but I guess we're going to find out. The first thing, of course, to do is to get him to his first evolution and his final evolution, by the way. And that is going to be at level 4. So, eat the tomatoes. Yeah, that's what I mean. He's like really kind of thin and wiry there. I'm not really sure what's going on with the life. But I guess maybe he just eats healthily? I don't know. Anyway, I want the skills. So, let's get going to level 7. Orcish Fury applies damage boost to all allies. Okay, so I'm guessing support? That's what I'm seeing already. Alright, so let's continue to level 10. Another skill. Shamanic Dispel. Attacker removes positive status effects from all enemies. Oh, that's actually kind of useful right there. Okay, that's kind of good. So I'm guessing from that, I'm seeing support. Oh, that reminds me, though. I didn't look at his skills, did I? No. So we're going to do that right now before they're gone. All right, let's look at the first one. I'm an orc. Yeah, I figured that out. Low physical damage to one enemy, but not a dork. I'm guessing that means he's smart. Deals moderate dark damage to one enemy. And of course, that special skill looked like it was a buff because we had the guys on his side and we didn't have an enemy over there. So, Shamanic Orc Verload. Okay. Heals all allies by 100%, gives 100% of stamina to allies, removes all negative stats effects from allies. Okay, so that's like a reset in the middle of the battle. But I mean, that's pretty good right there. That's like a reset button. Pretty good. All right, so let's go back to feeding. Because I got things a little bit out of order, didn't I? All right, so let's get to level 15. Another skill. Orcish Scream. 50% chance of applying nightmares to all enemies. Well, you know, we'll put that down there. Not going to keep that. That's actually kind of silly right there. I mean, it doesn't even do damage, right? And there's only a 50% chance of applying the worst torture effect. Ugh. All right, so let's go to level 20. Green Skin Horde applies 50% damage protection to all allies. Okay, that's not bad, as long as it's mixed in with something else in the future. We'll just throw it there because I don't want to see it again. Okay, so I'm getting the support vibe from him. So let's continue to level 25. Orcish Nightmares applies nightmares to all enemies. Okay, so we got rid of the 50%. And a 3-round cooldown. I am not impressed. Stick to buffing. Stick to buffing. Alright, so let's continue to level 30. Packed with Dark Forces. Gives extra turn and 25% stamina to itself. 50% chance of killing itself. Oh, we're going down the Furka way, aren't we? I mean, would I ever use that? I mean, I have a 50% chance of killing myself just to get 25% of my stamina an extra turn. I mean, mind you, you could use that any time because it has no cooldown and no stamina requirement. I guess I'll just throw it there for now. What is this one? Maybe that's... I'm hoping that gets mixed in with something better. I'm just going to throw it there because it might be good for parties, right? Hey, watch as I blow myself up. Alright, so let's see. Let's get to level 35. Another thing I forgot to read his history. Maybe he's like Furka's father or something, and that's where she learned it. I have no idea. Work. Okay, gives anticipation to an ally. Okay, that's interesting. Right? You give anticipation to somebody. Oh, that could be very interesting right there. That's kind of unique. Yeah, giving a damage boost to everybody, not as good as giving anticipation to somebody. Especially 0 stamina, 0 cooldown, so you could give it to everybody round after round. That would be really interesting. That's the first skill I've seen that goes, ooh, that's interesting. Alright, so let's get to level 40, because otherwise he doesn't have a lot. You know, I'm looking for some more. The Great Evazork. Applies evasion for 2 rounds to all allies. 50% chance of killing itself. Okay, if he has evasion, does it still kill him? That's actually very good. But wait a minute, I'm a little confused by this, though. It says, applies evasion to 2 turns to all allies. But it says target 1 ally. I'm guessing you target 1 ally and then it just gives it to everybody. That's something we're going to have to test, I suppose. I'm going to put that up on the front because, I mean, that's the best damage protection you have right there. I mean, even if he dies, that might still win the fight. So, I mean, that's pretty good right there. Those 2 skills are kind of interesting. Alright, so let's continue to... This is probably his last skill, though. We did that one already. I mean, I don't have anything that damages. Except for the nightmares, but I'm not going to do that. Berserk Ritual. Applies triple damage to an ally, and the ally will die after 1 turn. Gives 1 extra turn to itself. Eesh. Okay, let's look around here. And the ally will die after 1... Well, I mean, that might end the fight right there. Right, obviously not something you want to put on defense. Ooh, no. Killing myself over an extra turn and just 25% stamina doesn't make any sense. Possibly killing my... Well, it's not possibly, it's going to kill the other guy, right? For that actually sounds really interesting. He's got a weird selection of stuff here. The thing about it is I'm not keeping that one. Yeah, a 50% chance to die for 20% stamina and a turn? No, absolutely not. I just don't get that one at all. Okay, I'm pretty sure that we're done. Yeah, I am pretty sure that we're done. Let's get to Greenskin Horde. We've seen that one. And I'm going to go back and look at those, by the way, because I might decide, yeah, okay, we're not doing that one. I can't imagine doing that one. So let's take a look at his stats. All right, obviously, strength is insignificant since he doesn't do any damage. The only damage he does is nightmares as a torture effect, and it has absolutely no purpose whatsoever in terms of strength. So his strength is irrelevant, right? I mean, did he do, except for his first 2 skills, did he do anything that did damage? I don't remember seeing anything. His life is obviously very good. Surprisingly so, but I'm guessing it's his magic protecting him. All right, his speed is very good. Very, very good. If you wanted him to get out ahead of everybody and do the evasion thing, that could work. Mind you, it has a very good chance of killing him. But, I mean, if you wanted to do that, then that's something that could be done. What he could do is, you know, do the triple damage, get the extra turn, and then do the evasion so that everybody else is protected, and then his big damage dealer is going to attack and then die, right? That's the thing about it. It's a weird situation. I was planning on using him in the Thalassa team, but I'm not really sure now. Well, let's just take a look here. But the one thing I want to do is I want to read his description. The shaman in the orc tribe is indispensable. He may not stand in the front line of the battle most of the time, but his potions make the fighter stronger in the camp and in the battlefield. His spells are the blessings for his allies and a curse for his enemies. I was looking for some kind of relationship there with Furka. It would explain why they both blow themselves up. All right, well, I mean, that would have made good sense there. All right, I'm just going to quickly take a look. I don't think I missed anything, but let's just take Greenskin Horde. 50% damage protection to all allies. I don't think so, because his stuff is really like... I think fights have to be very quick under him. I mean, nothing he does any damage, except for his original 2 skills. So strength is absolutely ridiculous for this guy. Don't even bother. I mean, there's no reason for strength at all. All right, well, let's look at these skills and see if we can make some kind of a mess out of this, right? All right, here we have the first one, and probably his best one. I don't know, it's kind of iffy between this and another one. The Great Evasiork applies evasion for 2 turns to all allies, 50% chance of killing himself. All right, so you got to think at this point, maybe he's not important to the equation anymore, right? Now, he could do this as part of a combo. But what this is going to do, it's going to give evasion to his allies and himself if he still survived, right? But it's going to last for 2 turns. That's what really makes it powerful. That doesn't happen very often, which means they can attack and then they'll still have evasion for the next round. Now, it's not something you want to use on an extra turner. That would kind of defeat the entire purpose. But if you have somebody who can do really powerful attacks, and maybe somebody who can actually do their own combos, you know, somebody who can actually make them weak to a certain element and then come back the next round and hit them, because they're going to be evading for the second attack, so they'll actually be able to get their combo off. So that could be very, very useful in a lot of situations. All right, let's check this one out. I picked this one because it's its only damage, really. Okay, so this is Orcish Nightmares, applies nightmares to all enemies, requires cooldown. You know, I could be talked out of losing this one, because Nightmares is really not a great torture effect, and it doesn't even do any damage, you know, physical damage to it. It's completely dependent on the torture effect of Nightmares. Let me just see for a second. Is there something that I could lose for this one? I mean, do I want the damage protection? I mean, I don't think he's going to get a chance to do that. I guess maybe you could consider that one. That one is just a 50% chance on the one that I didn't like in the first place. You know, I think I'll take this one. I do. I think I'll take that one. Because if we're going to go support with him, we're just going to go full support. All right, so this is the one that I just chose, because I didn't think the other one made any sense, frankly. Shamanic Dispel. Attacker removes positive status effects from all enemies. I'm thinking the time you would use this would be if your team is evading, right? And maybe they took the opportunity to shield themselves or something like that, and you can go, oh, no, you lose that. So I'm thinking if I'm going to go support, I might as well just go all the way. Yeah, I mean, Nightmares is really crappy, you know, and waiting 3 turns for it to come back, I don't think he's going to be alive that long. All right, and then we're going to do this one. This is another really good one. Actually, he has 3 really good ones here. This one is Anticipate Orc. Gives anticipation to an ally, and it goes for 3 turns. Now, anticipation means that if an enemy uses a skill that gives him an extra turn or gives somebody else an extra turn, once the skill is used, the creature with anticipation is going to go before they get that extra turn. So he's going to be able to insert himself in the attack order right there. So if you have like a Voltec, he uses his first attack, right, to give him the next one. Before he gets the next one, that creature is going to get a turn. That can be very, very powerful. So if he gives this to a good damage dealer, maybe a Burkar or something like that, then you have like a Voltec go, well, then he's going to step right in there and say, boom, you're dead. Like that. So you don't get your extra turns. That's I've never seen anybody be able to give that. That's very powerful, especially considering that it's a 0 stamina, 0 cooldown. That could be very useful in a situation maybe when you had your stamina taken away, you know, because they can just go, which means they'll probably be able to charge, and then the next time they'll be able to attack. It really depends on who you're facing, right? But that's a really good support skill right there. And then we have this one, Berserker Ritual. Applies triple damage to ally, and the ally will die after one turn. Gives extra turn to itself. You could lead with this one, right? You give it to your best damage dealer if you think it's going to end everything, you know? But then you can turn around and then do this. I don't think the evade is going to protect them from death. But I mean, it's something you could do this, and then you could do the evade. I don't know. It's a good question. You know, there's a lot of combos in here that are really like, what are you going to do with this? But he's got some really good skills. That's a very good skill. Of course, the whole dying thing, you know, the other two members of the team will be all set up really well, right? And then this one, giving somebody anticipation. This one doesn't have an extra turn, so you can't do that combo. But in certain situations, it could be useful. Like I said, 0 cooldown, 0 stamina, so he'll be able to do that, right? And then this one, triple damage. It really depends on the circumstances because the other individual is going to die. Right now, you might have somebody else who can do resurrections and such. If triple damage on a certain creature will end the fight, yeah, you might want to do that. In case of this guy and his skills, I gave him no damage at all because I took out the nightmares. But he's got some really good support stuff. And you might want to like play with him in terms of in certain fight situations. Are you going to change, you know, maybe change the skill set around or something like that? But he has some interesting things. But he's definitely not somebody that you're going to want to put on defense because, I mean, he might just, you know, give himself triple damage and then kill himself, you know? Yeah, the AI isn't really smart with things like that. They just don't get the combos down right. This is somebody you want to manually control in a very controlled situation. You're not going to put him on the battlefield all the time. He's going to be a specialist. But, I mean, it really depends. I mean, you wouldn't use this guy day to day, right? But, you know, the thing about it is in certain situations, he could be very, very useful. I'm just wondering whether or not I do want to use him in the Thalassa team. You know, I think I probably will just for giggles because I think it might be interesting to do that. I mean, I do have another damage dealer in there too. It's just I don't want to kill him, obviously, right? So I might be laying off that other one unless it's really going to end the fight. So anyway, this is Warspellz. Obviously, he is made for speed, right? I mean, don't put strength on him. He doesn't hit anything, so strength is a complete waste of time with him. And he's got a great speed. So, I mean, he can jump out ahead and put the evade down. It's just that he may kill himself doing it. I don't know. Maybe he can resist his own death or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that works that way. It does do that sometimes, you know? And like I said, he's all open here, so yeah, all speed. This guy, all speed. You guys suppose you could do support speed if you have a better denial individual. It really depends on how you intend to play him. But whether it's speed for him or speed for the team, yeah, it's going to be speed. I mean, you're not going to boost his life. He's got a good life, but he's not going to tank or anything like that, right? So it all comes down to speed. Whether or not you want to put it on him or do you want team speed, one way or another, it's going to be speed. Anyway, this is Warspellz, and he's different. I'll say that. I guess I would really have to play with him to figure out whether or not I considered him to be really good, right? It's kind of tough to get combos for him, I would guess. But, you know, we'll see what we can do. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. If anything, it'll be interesting. So anyway, thank you very much for your attention. I really appreciate it. And play games, because games are fun. See ya.